From Citizen TV, this is the Monday Report with Trevor Ombija.
Good evening. You're just in time for the Monday Report, and we are live from Nakuru County, number 32, one of Kenya's latest cities. Did you know that globally, humanity produces about 22 billion tons of waste every year? However, here in Nakuru, 46% of the population lives in the urban area. That's close to half of them. Now, out of that, each and every person produces 0.85 kgs of waste every day. Only 62.5% of that is collected, and only 17.5% is recyclable. 56% is organic waste. Don't be too concerned about those numbers. What we are here to discuss is how to chart the path to Nakuru's circular economy. And how do you make waste wealth from waste? That's the conversation we're having live here from the old town hall in Nakuru. And the town hall is back on the road. But before we get into all that, our top stories tonight.
There are about 42 from Tharaka-Nithi that we've received, and we'll work around ensuring that we improve them sufficiently in the next few years so that they are done.
Schools of shame. Education CS admits 42 schools in Tharaka-Nithi are in deplorable condition, forcing learners to study in harsh and undignified environments.
I have combined all my predecessors, you know. I have the courage of Jomo, I have the understanding of Moi, I have the education of Kibaki, and I have the plan we shared with Uhuru Kenyatta.
I am the best president ever. President Ruto blows his own trumpet, claiming to combine qualities of all his predecessors.
Once the source is poisoned, the whole line will be poisoned. So the cure is not in dealing with symptoms. The cure is dealing with the problem.
Scrap it. KHRC demands Hustler Fund be defunded, terms it illegal and a failure.
With immediate effect, SHA will no longer accept OTP-based authorization.
Going digital. CS Duale announces biometric verification to replace manual approvals for SHA.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yula Nzale. So in a peculiar moment of self-appraisal, President William Ruto has today described himself as the best president Kenya has ever had, stating that he has topped his predecessors as the only PhD holder to occupy State House. President Ruto touted himself as a combination of the good qualities of the last 4 presidents. President Ruto spoke as he received a delegation of leaders from Tharaka-Nithi County at the State House in Nairobi. Citizen TV's Emmanuel To has the details.
He basked in the air of self-admiration, blowing his own trumpet at decibels that defy common norms. President Ruto started with an account of his physical and academic attributes, as well as his journey up the political ranks.
Nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Nimekuwa naibu wa rais miaka 10. Sio experience inatosha? Mimi sio mzee sana. Si mimi ni kijana, mimi naelewa kufanya maneno. Ama namna gani? Mimi nimesoma ya kutosha. Hatujawahi kuwa na daktari ambaye ni rais wa nchi.
Then came his rural background.
Mimi ni mtu naelewa. Mimi nimezaliwa huko mashinani. Sasa shida ya Kenya mimi naelewa. Sasa mimi nitasema nimekosa kufanya hii kazi kwa sababu gani? I have no reason. I don't have an excuse. So I have to do the difficult job. Hii kazi yote ambayo mimi nafanya, kazi ngumu, ni kwa sababu there has never been an opportunity for a person with the experience I have, with the education I have, with the knowledge I have in Kenya. So I must do it.
And wrapping the qualities of his predecessors into one attributes package, President Ruto declared himself a combination of the abilities of all 4 previous presidents.
I have combined all my predecessors, you know. I have the courage of Jomo, I have the understanding of Moi, I have the education of Kibaki, and I have the plan we shared with Uhuru Kenyatta. I have no excuse than to do everything that needs to be done in this nation. Transforming our health provision, transforming our infrastructure development. That is the assignment that I have.
Giving an upbeat assessment of his record in office, the president said he is on course to transform Kenya.
Na ni miaka miwili tu peke yake. Tell me what's going to happen in 5 years. Tell me what's going to happen in 10 years. Tell me what's going to happen in 20 years. You will not recognize Kenya because it will be a different place because of housing.
The president was speaking at the State House, Nairobi, before a delegation of leaders from Tharaka Nithi, a delegation whose requests included the long-promised construction of the notorious Nithi Bridge.
Hii Nithi Bridge ni mtatengeneza. Inahitaji shilingi bilioni 7, ni pesa nyingi. Hiyo bridge inatangazwa kesho. Na nimesema hiyo bridge lazima ikamilike kabla ya uchaguzi. Mimi sitaki.
That the changes we have had in this country have not been experienced under any regime. It is only a miracle that you came in when the shilling was at 169 exchange rate and today it's at 130. Nobody talks about it. Yet, we know Kenya, 70% of what we use here is imported, and therefore shilling is very important.
Emmanuel Toh, Citizen TV.
Tonight, teachers across the country are up in arms over what they describe as skewed and disappointing salary increment, with many receiving as little as 500 shillings more in their July payslips. The pay rise stems from the 2021-2025 collective bargaining agreement worth 33.8 billion shillings signed between the Teachers Service Commission and the unions NAT, KUPPET and KUSNET. But teachers now say that the deal is a betrayal, falling far below their expectations and failing to match the rising cost of living. Stephen Leto has the details.
When the Teachers Service Commission inked the 2021-2025 collective bargaining agreement with the Kenya National Union of Teachers NAT, Kenya Union of Post-Primary Teachers KUPPET, and the Kenya Union of Special Needs Education Teachers KUSNET, promising salary increase across all scales, teachers expected a significant boost in their payslips. But the salary review reflected in their July payslips has left many teachers shocked, with some receiving increments as low as 500 shillings. For instance, a chief principal under grade 5 earning an initial salary of 131,380 shillings received a total increase of only 985 shillings. Even the highest paid chief principal in the same grade, taking home 162,539 shillings, saw a salary increase of just 1,219 shillings.
Because what we expected is not what we got. Na nimesikia wengine wanasema kwamba walipata negatives. Tunataka our unions tueleze actually what is going on, what is on the ground, because we really don't understand this deal.
A payslip for Senior Master 2 under grade 1 now reads 79,215 shillings, reflecting an increment of just 590 shillings. A primary school teacher under grade C1 who was supposed to receive the highest increment of 29% has taken home only 1,318 shillings more. The lowest paid teacher in the country, earning 23,830 shillings, has received an increment of just 1,198 shillings.
This morning, these teachers have stormed my office. They are asking for their money. Last month, we had a deduction on the teachers' payslips, calling itself KUPPET SWA L, which means these teachers have taken a loan.
So there could be some of us who are just getting what the teacher is getting at the moment, maybe trying to do some matrix which are not adding up.
The anger is palpable in Bomet, where frustrated teachers huddled together, trying to make sense of the new figures on their payslips.
According to my analysis, is that my June payment, my basic salary was 41,861, and in the new pay, my basic salary rose to 42,929.
House allowance, hardship allowance, and other benefits have also been reviewed upwards under the new CBA, pushing many teachers into higher tax brackets and reducing their net take-home pay. With frustration mounting, unions are under pressure from members to demand a fresh review of the package, even as the TSC defends the increments, saying they align with the signed agreement. The 4-year deal, inked with teachers' unions, will cost the government 33.8 billion shillings to implement. Stephen Letos, Citizen TV.
Now, following an exposure by Citizen TV on the sorry state of schools in Nakuru County, the government has released funds to urgently renovate 42 schools within Nakuru and several other parts of the country. Education Cabinet Secretary Migos Ogamba, who spoke at a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 6 classrooms at Limbine Primary School in Meru, said that the program will cover several counties. Miriam Nyambura has the details.
This is the story state of classes in most schools in Tharaka Nithi. As established by Citizen TV, learners forced to either share classes or brave harsh weather in this dilapidated infrastructure. An expose that has caught the attention of the Education Ministry, with Education Cabinet Secretary Migos Ogamba acknowledging the problem in most schools.
I think there are about 42 from Tharaka Nithi that we've received, and we'll work around ensuring that we improve them sufficiently in the next few years so that they are done. There are a number of schools in that state, in Tharaka Nithi, in Tana River, in many other places, Turkana, and we are working, as I said, even with our partners to ensure that we support each other in that space so that we can provide those classrooms and improve them.
Migos, who presided over the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 6 classrooms, an administration block and a science lab in Meru, announced that 1.3 billion shillings will be used to rehabilitate the schools and construct additional classes.
What happened is the last few years, the infrastructure development from the ministry was not sufficient. And last year and the other year, there wasn't a component of infrastructure development figures because of the issues relating to the finance bill, and you're aware of that.
The M-Pesa Foundation is already in several counties to support the initiative, with 600 schools across the country set to benefit within the next 3 years.
We are doing this in every county, and the invitation is always from the community. Our team comes to assess, and we work in partnership with the Ministry of Education.
Miriam Nyambura, Citizen TV.
Let's talk about health matters now. The government has formally phased out one-time passwords or OTPs for Social Health Authority verification, replacing them with a compulsory biometric identification system in all level 4, 5 and 6 health facilities. Launching the biometric health ID at the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital, Health Cabinet Secretary Aidan Duale announced that all SHA approvals will now be processed via fingerprint scans or the newly introduced Practice 360 app. Emily Chawet has the details.
Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale visited the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital to witness firsthand the rollout of biometric identification and verification of all Social Health Authority beneficiaries. The CS hailing the new system as a game changer, promising to curb fraud, slash paperwork, eliminate long queues and free healthcare workers to focus on patient care.
This innovation will secure access to health services without having physical documents. Your fingerprint will verify your identity securely.
Duale revealed that some health facilities have been making multiple fraudulent claims and illegally sharing pre-authorization codes, a scam that has cost taxpayers millions. He warned that any facility flagged by the new biometric systems will be immediately deregistered, with individuals involved facing prosecution. The government says the crackdown is part of a sweeping digital transformation in healthcare, led by the newly formed Digital Health Agency.
All healthcare workers now have an opportunity to view, to approve, and to manage pre-authorization claims and the services they offer directly through Practice 360 app. With immediate effect, SHA will no longer accept OTP-based authorization.
Ile NHIF ilikuwa na wizi. Ndio wakati tulikuwa tunafunga NHIF ilikuwa na madeni ya shilingi bilioni 30 ambayo ilikuwa inaongezeka kila mwezi. Hospitali zingine Kwanza moja ilikuwa kwetu huko Eldoret. Hospitali ilikuwa na madaktari wachache na accountants wengi. Kwa sababu kazi yao ilikuwa ni kuibia NHIF.
Duale also unveiled the National Product Catalogue, fully integrated with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, to ensure only authorized, safe and approved pharmaceuticals are dispensed to Kenyans in a bid to wipe out counterfeit and substandard drugs.
All pharmaceutical companies must upload certified products data within 30 days. Failure to comply will result in deregistration and delisting from the SHA ecosystem.
Duale says the system is already operational across all level 4, 5 and 6 hospitals, with plans underway to extend it to level 2 and 3 facilities. But questions linger. How will the ministry digitally register more than 25 million Kenyans, and how will it effectively sensitize the public on the phase out of OTPs, which many still depend on for access? With the rising concerns of fraudulent billings, overcharging and even identity theft in most hospitals across the country, the ministry's digital launch today is seen as a game changer if implemented across all facilities in Kenya. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV, KHRC, Kiambu County.
And away from that, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, that is KHRC, is urging the government to abolish the Financial Inclusion Fund, popularly known as the Hustler Fund, citing deep structural flaws that threatens its viability. In a damning report released on Monday titled Failing the Hustlers, the KHRC warns that the fund is on course for financial disaster, lacking a sustainable framework to truly empower Kenyans' economically vulnerable populations as initially promised. The rights organizations assert that the only practical solution is to scrap the program altogether. The report highlights a staggering 68% default rate, revealing that for every 500 shillings loan disbursed, only 340 is effectively lost.
After 2 years of rigorous research, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, KHRC, on Monday launched a scathing report on the government's Financial Inclusion Fund, the Hustler Fund. Titled Failing the Hustlers, the report calls for the immediate scrapping of the fund, arguing that despite heavy political backing, it has failed to advance financial inclusion or provide meaningful economic empowerment to its intended beneficiaries.
It's a flawed system. It's a flawed fund. Reasons have been outlined why it is flawed and why it is therefore unsustainable.
By December 2023, over 9.6 billion had been disbursed, yet there was no measurable impact on the enterprise development or job creations. Loan sizes ranging from 500 to 1,000 were too small to start or grow businesses. Repayment terms of 14 days were unrealistic.
I now officially launch the Hustler Fund for the Republic of Kenya.
The fund, a flagship project under President William Ruto's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, was launched amid March fanfare in November 2022. It was intended as a lifeline for Kenya's economically marginalized, but the KHRC warns it has instead become a vehicle for political patronage, aimed more at showcasing a campaign promise fulfilled than fostering genuine self-reliance. The KHRC report paints a grim picture, a staggering 68% default rate, meaning for every 500 Kenya shillings loan disbursed, 340 Kenya shillings is effectively lost, a default rate that has more than doubled. A 2023 Auditor General report recorded a 32% default rate, with about 10.9 billion Kenya shillings still unpaid from the 32 billion Kenya shillings disbursed.
And this fund is still working. We're still giving out money. It's like putting money in a bottomless dark pit.
And this is one example of how Parliament has undermined the Constitution. Because if you read the Constitution well, there's no way this law should be standing today. That Parliament surrenders its power to a Cabinet Secretary.
The Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs swiftly convened a meeting following the report's release, dismissing its findings as misleading and motivated by malicious intent.
The facts that are there are not genuine, And the fact that you take 2 months and you take the 2 months as the music. The best way, we are 3 years old, we will be celebrating 3 years in November. In November, we are just few months away, 2 months away. It would have been better for them to come and discuss with us.
Just the title itself, it shows that whatever was purported to be done had some sort of veiled political intention.
The Treasury's 2025-2026 budget allocation slashed the funding to 300 million Kenya shillings, down sharply from 5 billion Kenya shillings in 2024-2025 and 10 billion Kenya shillings in 2023-2024.
Quite concerning. And
the KHRC warns that the government is increasingly relying on borrowing, primarily through treasury bills, to sustain the fund. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, former Member of Parliament for Baringo Central and ex-Lands Commissioner Sami Mua appeared in court today to answer to serious land fraud allegations. Mua allegedly tried to forcibly acquire 2 prime parcels of land worth over 300 million shillings in Nairobi West from their rightful owners by doctoring a fake title deed. Mua has denied the charges and was released on bail. Melito Letenges has the details.
Seized by Court 4.
Sami Mua, once a powerful figure as Baringo Central MP and a former Lands Commissioner, found himself in the dock Monday, accused of abusing his authority to orchestrate a fraudulent land deal. Alongside a co-accused Brian Kipto Kiplagat, who failed to appear in court, Mua faces multiple charges, including conspiracy to defraud, forging documents without the consent of rightful landowners, abuse of office, and providing false information to DCI detectives. The accused allegedly planned to unlawfully register a land title for the 2 parcels of land along Mai Mahiu Road in Nairobi West with the aim of dispossessing the rightful owners Rose Njoki King'ao and Mishugu Wagatharia. Mua denied all charges and was granted bail or bond.
So I'll admit the second accused to a bond of Kenya shillings 10 million with a surety of a similar amount. Alternatively, I'll admit him to a cash bail of 2 million and then he will provide 2 contact persons.
The court also directed that the second accused, Brian Kipto Kiplagat, who failed to appear, to present himself Tuesday. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, stated that it intends to present witnesses to demonstrate how the fraudulent scheme was orchestrated over a span of more than 2 decades, dating back to March 2001.
As directed, the second accused person will attend court tomorrow. The summons will be issued and it will be served upon his counsel so that he can attend court tomorrow on the 5th day of July, 2025.
The case will be mentioned again later this month. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
Now, emotions ran high at the burial of Julia Wangoi, the 30-year-old lady who died while in police custody at the Nanyuki GK prison 26 days ago. The family contested post-mortem results that pointed to Julia's death as a result of natural causes, a plot the family believes is part of the police cover-up. And as Kamau Mwangi now reports, Julia's family, led by the father, who serves as a chief, has pledged to pursue justice for their fallen kin.
The final journey of the late Julia Wangoi in Matanya, Laikipia County provided yet another platform for the youth to call out President William Ruto's administration over the use of excessive police force to silence and contain his critics. During the burial, the National Police Service came under fire for an alleged cover-up and for allegedly influencing the post-mortem results that pointed her death to be as a result of natural causes.
The face for 14 days. Why did they damage Julie more than they damaged her when they were kidding? And then they come and say the famous natural death. Can't you think that is painful?
Wacha tusidanganyane. Julie aliuliwa na mtu tunajua. Julie aliuliwa na afande OT wa DCI na alimpiga saa 1:30 ya usiku.
Julia's father, Martin Karaoke, narrated the pain he's had to endure following the loss of his daughter at the hands of the very government he serves, and vowed to never rest until justice is served.
Uchungu wa mwana ujua ni nani? President hawezi sikia ule uchungu niko naye. MCA hawezi sikia ile uchungu niko naye. Hata governor hawezi sikia. You are gone with all that pain because of the government that I have served for more than a decade. Your grandpa was the first assistant in 1989, and now your dad is a shiver, and the same government is killing you.
And as those that lost their lives during the protests continue to be laid to rest in various parts of the country, calls for better governance and an end to police brutality grow louder.
It is like
Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
On that sad note, we're taking a quick break here on the Monday Report Town, on which we're back on the road live from Nakuru's Old Town Hall. We're speaking about charting a pathway to Nakuru's circular economy through waste management. My guest later on will be joining us here on the town hall is Joseph Kopejo, is the Nema County Director of Environment, Nakuru County. Dr. Nelson Mara is the CCM, Water, Environment, Energy, Climate Change and Natural Resources of Nakuru County. Christine Babu is the Program Manager, KCIC, and Cynthia Wairemo, co-founder, Texas Waste Papers. We are speaking about Nakuru's path to circular economy through waste management. That coming up in just a bit. Thank you for staying with the Monday Report live from Nakuru County, where we're chatting a pathway to the circular economy through waste management. We'll talk about that in the town hall session. But for now, a manhunt is underway for a police constable accused of gruesome double murder in Kitui County. Police Constable Bernard Siambe is said to have fatally shot 2 women at Kanyonyo Market in Yatta, Kwavonza Ward on Sunday night. Sources say that one of the victims, Joy Mutisia, was in a relationship with the officer and that the two had engaged in frequent public disputes. Residents of Kanyonyo say that they heard gunshots on Sunday night, after which they found the lifeless bodies of 2 women at the scene of the fatal shooting. The suspect reportedly fled after the incident. The bodies of the victims were taken to the Kitui Level 4 hospital mortuary as detectives launched a manhunt for the fugitive officer. The local community has condemned the killings as senseless and deeply tragic.
Huyo askari alikuwa ameanza kunywa mchana. Najua akaenda kupatiwa aingie duty ya usiku. Na mwenye kumpatia alikuwa anamuona ni mlevi. Naomba serikali msipatie mlevi hiyo kitu. Hiyo kitendo ni baya sana. Kana yule mtoto ameachiliwa hapa ni mdogo sana. Na mwenye kuacha mtoto alikuwa anasaidia yule mwingine, hakuwa na hiyo makosa, sio rafiki hiyo msichana, sio hiyo askari. Kwa hivyo naomba serikali muangalie sana. Hiyo kitendo askari kupiga watu kama mbuzi sio mzuri. Hiyo ni mtu mtoa wa yake, ana mtoto mdogo. Hiyo kitendo ni mbaya sana.
Sasa wakati alienda kwa Petro, aliacha askari mwenzake. Sasa akaanza kutafuta huyo rafiki yake msichana. Akakuja akamkuta kwa proti ya Jacqueline Bithe. Sasa hapo ndio walianza kupurugana. Mwishowe kuna madam mwingine walikuwa na huyo msichana, walikuwa na Judy. Sasa askari alikuwa anataka kupiga Judy na huyo madam alikuwa anamzuia, anamwambia usimpige. Sasa askari ndiye alichukua hatua ya kuwapiga risasi, akawapiga wote risasi, wakaanguka mahali pamoja pale.
Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has defended the ongoing construction of modern and economic stimulus program, that's ESP markets countrywide, terming the multi-billion projects a major catalyst in the country's economic development from the grassroots. Chris Pinotino has the details.
Scenes witnessed at Irundini village in Tharaka Nithi County, where more than 5,000 women small-scale traders from Meru County were hosted at Deputy President Kithure Kindiki's rural home in Tharaka Nithi County. Kindiki told the traders that the markets, whose construction is financed from the Housing Fund, will provide a dignified and secure environment for small businesses, avail farmers guaranteed returns for their produce, and guard against post-harvest losses.
Na hii Meru tunajenga, nimesema 21 markets kila constituency. Wakati saa hii tunaongea, masoko mengine imeanza kujengwa, yale mengine tuko tayari kuanza. na kufikia mwaka huu mwisho, in the next 6 months, masoko hayo yote 21 yale mengi yatakuwa yamekamilika ili muyatumie kama wanabiashara wadogo huku mashinani, sana sana akina mama.
Kindiki scoffed at the opposition leaders from the Mount Kenya region, accusing them of inciting the residents against the government and President William Ruto instead of lobbying for meaningful development and completion of projects, including roads that have stalled since 2019.
Na wale wengine wanapiga kelele huko kwa sababu hata wao walikuwa kwa viti kubwa kama hii yangu. Si watakuja hata hao? Na wao waulize, siku ile ulikuwa na crown, ulileta mradi gani? Sio ndio mashindano tunataka? Kila mtu ajitetee na kazi yake. Mimi nitajitetea. Mimi siwezi anguka mtihani.
The women in attendance vowed to rally behind the flagship projects in Meru County for their economic growth.
Fire si fire. Noma si noma.
Crispino TNO, Citizen TV.
Now, the M-Pesa Sokoni caravan has arrived in Nairobi and its environs, bringing excitement as Safaricom marks 18 years of M-Pesa services in Kenya. Safaricom is celebrating the milestone with its customers.
It was pomp and color at Kibra grounds as Safaricom launched the Nairobi leg of the M-Pesa Sokoni caravan. The caravan is part of the activities to celebrate M-Pesa's journey since 2007.
As part of the Sokoni Festival is to celebrate with the entire country, to ensure that we are all part and parcel of this journey, and as always, say thank you to each and every single customer that we have on Safaricom and M-Pesa.
Caravan, led by Radio Citizen and Inoro FM presenters, brought M-Pesa Sokoni message to the people with fun, prizes and one-on-one interactions.
Manake katika kusherehekea miaka 18, M-Pesa inaleta zawadi kochokocho. Pia ni nafuu kwa wafanyabiashara, manake wanapata kufunzwa, wanapata kuelimishwa. Kuna mikopo mbalimbali ambayo huwa inatoka kwa wale ambao wanatumia huduma za M-Pesa, na kwa hiyo inakuwa pia ni afueni kwa wafanyabiashara wengi.
We commit that will continue giving you life-transforming products. We are not just doing the caravan, we have other activities. Like tomorrow we'll be meeting with business people, what we are calling Sapphire at Strathmore, where we will be educating small and medium business people on digital and financial literacy.
The caravan visited Kibra, Waithaka, Limuru and ended the day in Wangige as Safaricom celebrated its 50 million customers across the country. Tomorrow, the caravan heads to Kiambu and Ruiru. Steve Shitera, Citizen TV, Wangige, Kiambu.
2025 is expected to significantly raise the cost of paper packaging in the country, an issue that Kenya's manufacturing and export sectors now say will put them under renewed pressure, making Kenya unattractive. According to the CEO of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Tobias Alando, this will see the cumulative taxes on imported paper packaging materials surge from under 50% in 2022 to over 111% in 2025. Jimmy Mbogo has more on what this will mean for you, the consumer.
The Kenya Association of Manufacturers is calling on the government to streamline and harmonize taxes on production material, noting that the continued levying of new taxes is making Kenya unattractive and uncompetitive. The implementation of the 2025 Finance Act will see the cumulative taxes on imported paper packaged material increase to over 100%, owing to increased charges that have been applied on essential raw materials like kraft liner and sack kraft paper, which are not produced locally.
So if you look at all these costs, there are three different products. There is a bleach, there is unbleached, and there is a kraft liner. So the bleached products, total costs, the ones I've mentioned in terms of taxation, comes to around 40%. The unbleached packaging products comes to around 50%. The kraft liner, the total taxation comes to about 100%. So already, if you compete with someone producing these three packaging materials in the region, you cannot be competitive.
Number one, the government can try and rationalize the taxes. This means maybe reducing the import duties for the raw materials that are used for production of packaging. Two is elimination of certain tariffs, for example, excess duty on packaging materials and the export investment promotion levy.
This, they say, will help to secure jobs in the manufacturing sector, which continues to shrink owing to unfavorable business environment.
Ultimately, I feel the government is going to lose on this because, as we have indicated before, manufacturers will resort to importing. And you know what importing means? It will lead to loss of jobs. Even the few raw materials that are obtained locally now, they will not get a market.
The manufacturers say if this is not addressed, consumers will have to dig deeper into their pockets for commodities.
The net effect increases the product cost by around 17%. Because that margin has to be covered by someone. Now, who is that someone? The consumer. So everyone buying an item that is packaged, either locally or internationally, will have to absorb that differential cost of about 17%.
They're now appealing for the act to be amended to avert what they term as quote-unquote dire consequences, especially to export products. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, in a strategic move to transform research into tangible economic benefits, Kenya is accelerating efforts to commercialize university innovations. The move is expected to create more job opportunities and ensure research efforts pay off for the nation. Speaking during a briefing, stakeholders from different quarters outlined their commitment to driving this change through the entrepreneurial leadership training program. Now, this is part of the National Research to Commercialization Strategy, which targets vice chancellors and deputy vice chancellors across the country. The training focuses on transforming higher education institutions into innovation hubs by developing entrepreneurial curriculum, allocating commercialization funding, and enhancing alumni and industry linkages.
We've seen innovations that are emerging. We've seen leadership changing attitude. We've seen strategies being enhanced at institutional level with the top leadership owning these processes. And what we are seeing ourselves working on over the next 1-2 years is to support these 25 and others that will join along the way to mainstream more and more innovation efforts. We follow through, we support, we intervene.
We are here to see how we can be able to pitch research, innovations and technology to be able to, to address the challenges of the society. One of the areas is how can we be able to have clusters, because there is a lot of diversity in our society. We are in the process of setting up think tanks in different clusters that brains will going to come together to be able to really listen and be able to appreciate the challenges that we are facing.
Business News, brought to you by Definite Assurance. It's a definite that life has lots of miscellaneous risks, meaning you have to be insured against burglary in your home and business. Have a group personal accident cover and Weber. It's a definite, you need Definite Assurance. Uko nao?
Sports News, brought to you by... Back your favorite team as they battle for glory in the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship 2024, right here on home soil.
Now, time for some sporting action. Now, Kenya Academy of Sports has challenged all sports stakeholders to participate in the first ever National Sports Career Fair and Symposium to be held at the KICC from the 6th to the 8th of August. Now, the event is targeting to unlock the massive potential in the sporting sector right here in Kenya.
This symposium is not just an event, it is a national conversation. It is a transformational movement. It is the sum of our aspirations as a country to re-engineer the entirety of the sporting sector. It is a timely wake-up call to reimagine sports as a career, a business, a science, a craft, and most importantly, above it, this is guaranteed pathway to empowerment of our communities.
We have launched 37 academies, and the aim before 2027, God willing, is that we will have sports academies in 290 constituencies throughout Kenya. Other than that, we have had very, very successful holiday camps.
It's a great honor to be in this room.
Now, 6 more golfers qualified for the NCBA Golf Series Grand Finale following the latest leg of the tournament held at the Limuru Country Club. The event attracted 206 golfers who battled out for the slots. Scratch player John Kariuki was the overall gross men's winner with a score of 72 gross. Nancy Wairimu, playing off handicap 3, claimed the overall gross lady winner title with a strong round of 78 gross. Nancy also won the longest drive lady category. In Division I, it was junior golfer Austin Gitahi who won with 39 points. He was followed closely by Anthony Thiongo, who carried 38 points. The NCBA Golf Series now moves into its final stretch, with more qualifiers to be determined in the upcoming legs across the East African region.
Sports News, brought to you by... Back your favorite team as they battle for glory in the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship 2024, right here on home soil.
Now that wraps up the sporting action right here, and there's a CHAN update on a game between Algeria and Uganda. It's so far 3 to Algeria and Uganda 0. We'll keep you updated as the conversation continues. Later on in the town hall, we're having a conversation on the circular economy and through waste management right here in Nakuru County number 32. We're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're having that conversation in our town hall session, so don't go too far.
How do you turn waste to wealth? Tonight, we chart a path to Nakuru's circular economy in the Monday Report Town Hall.
Thank you for staying with the Monday Report. Town Hall session begins in just a short while. My guest already with me here. We are charting the path to Nakuru's circular economy through waste management. But just to set the stage for this, Nakuru County has been lauded for initiatives to properly manage waste, enhance sanitation, and also at the same time provide alternative clean solutions. If you're wondering what I'm talking about Nawaskol. Now, Nawaskol is a project from the county which is turning human waste within Nakuru city into briquettes that are used as alternative sources for charcoal. Here's Edward Chwea with Made in Kenya.
On the shores of Lake Nakuru, waste exhausters are driving in at intervals. They are here to empty fecal sludge collected from homesteads in Nakuru County. This is the collection point for Nawaskol, a subsidiary of the Nakuru Water and Sanitation Company, who use the sludge to make briquettes.
We are doing this through circular economy approach, whereby we are transforming these fecal waste into products. In this case, we are making briquettes. This is an alternative to the ordinary charcoals, can be used at domestic level. We also make what we call seed balls. This is whereby we get the seeds of indigenous trees. We carefully coat it with treated fecal sludge. Those are good for afforestation and reforestation.
The process starts with collection from homesteads in Nakuru County through a partnership with private service providers. At the plant, the sludge is dried for a number of days.
We do what we call dewatering process. This is removal of excess water. After drying, we take it through a pyrolysis process or carbonization process. This is where we heat it at very high temperatures, about 450 degrees. This eliminates the pathogens, the harmful bacteria, and also increases carbon concentration. We combine this sludge, carbonized sludge, with other biomass like avocado waste. Then we have properly blended materials. And then we use molasses as a binding agent. We use an extruder that has this shape, giving this shape. We also make crowd-shaped briquettes for different applications. We bring it out here for drying. It will take like 2 to 3 days.
The briquettes not only burn longer than charcoal, but also have zero emissions that are harmful to the environment.
Before this project, you would find people dumping or rather discharging fecal sludge into open drainage, contaminating water and what have you. So we managed to work with those groups, supported them. We built their capacity, they are now able to operate in a formal way. So the revenue generated is also helping the county to scale up the issue of sanitation.
The county government is engaging in public-private partnerships to help manage the waste generated in the county.
So you need everybody to come in, whether you are investing in different kind of waste stream. We are all welcome, and we believe if we are able to partner like the way we are partnering with the KHRC in terms of coming up with like reviewing our legal framework to fit the daily needs. At the same time, we are also incorporating and creating job opportunities for our people.
In Nakuru County, we are implementing the SWIFT program, which is the Sustainable Waste Innovation for a Future in Transition program. It supports entrepreneurs with business incubation and acceleration support. What is needed actually for businesses in the circular economy space to be able to commercialize.
Nakuru continues to be the model county in proper waste management, with initiatives like Nawaskol not only providing clean energy solutions, but also safely managing sanitation and at the same time generating revenue. Edward Chwea, Made in Kenya, Citizen TV.